Welcome to Dreamweaver and Chill, and thanks for chilling with me. I'm super excited about my next guest. It's Bene Gesserit Witch from Fear. Is that what you guys are called right now?
Yes, we're Fear now.
It's
We've
okay.
had a few name changes.
You used to be Raid. I mean, that
Right,
was okay, cool. But you're Fear. I like that. That's a
right.
well. How long have you been in Raid or Fear?
Um, I it's hard for me to remember time. I think it's been like last year I moved over from Arrow to well, it was Raid then, with a bunch of us. So I've been there ever since, and
And you're much happier here.
I am very happy. It's they're a good group of guys. I don't think I've ever been in a alliance I didn't like. You know what I mean? Once you get to know people, you realize they're very different than what you think they're going to be. Um, so yeah, I've been very happy with them. They're all good, and they're all nice guys too, which is always a nice thing. And we just have a good time together.
And Solar is your admiral.
He is, yes.
Solar Warden. I like him. He's
Yep.
I've actually visited you guys like last year for like a couple of days to get some back before they changed the speed ups on your research.
Right, right. I think I vaguely recall you came in to get some of the stuff that we had in one of our territories.
Yeah, that's probably it. I'm notorious for jumping in and getting people to start their sarcophagus forge and then getting what I need and then leaving.
Well, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, and I mean, I think it was a little bit easier to visit alliances then. Now that they have the different things with the events, then you lose all your points. I think it's harder to jump back and forth.
Yeah, that's why I think right now people are jumping all over the place.
Mhm. Yeah, a little bit to some extent, but I don't see it as much as it was, like, right in the beginning. I think things have more settled down.
Yeah, I agree. Well, let me ask you a question.
Mhm.
This is a game question. It's when did you start playing Star Trek Fleet Command? And
Oh, god.
do you remember the
I'm
first
sorry.
alliance you were in? It's okay.
It was probably pretty close to the beginning. I think it was a little after Thanksgiving when it first came out. Because I'd heard about the game, like, through another Facebook group, Star Trek group I was in, so, like, I was like, "Ah, I'll check it out." And I just randomly picked an alliance, because they had a whole, like, Firefly thing, it was freedom. And that really was the reason I picked it, it was just like, "Oh, I like Firefly, I'll join freedom." And
Hey,
that was my whole manner of thinking.
so Firefly, I remember that alliance.
Mhm. Yeah,
That
yeah.
it actually became ZFG. A lot of those
Did
guys.
it?
Yeah.
I know we got moved into the whole synergy thing for a while, and then, like then everything blew apart with that, and that's kinda when I went to Arrow. I went to Arrow, like, right before, like, everything blew up there,
So
and
thank you,
then
Admiral Kirk. Once again, Admiral Kirk, you screwed it up for another person.
I mean, I don't know, I try to stay out of a lot of that drama, like, I know people do things and that, and I just kind of, like my theory is I just sort of just, like, I'm just there, I do what I need to do, and I try to stay out of the big stuff, and I just leave it alone because it's just not worth it for me. So, I'm sure there's a lot of drama, but I try to avoid it as much as I possibly can.
I just messed with him because back when I used to care, like I was really into it. Like, you know, when you first
Mhm.
start, you're like, "Oh, I'm really gung ho about this."
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
he was like, "Oh my gosh, Admiral Kirk, he's so evil. He's the worst." And I was like, "He seems cool to me." They're like, "No, he killed Synergy." Okay. So I always remind him of that. Maybe that's
Mhm.
not nice. That's not very nice now that I think about it.
Probably not, but I mean, like, every alliance comes and goes. There's very few that are still here from the very beginning, and even the ones that are still here, they're all different people. So, I mean, like I said, I really focus more on the people. Like, Kirk's been in Raid too, and he's a great guy, really. You learn to deal with people one on one more so, and I think that makes a big difference in the game.
And that's what I'm trying to do here. Like
Uh-huh.
break those barriers. Like we don't know each other, but now we know
Mhm.
we have a voice. People hear my voice, but I don't know anyone what anyone sounds like, and that's kind of important.
Mhm. Oh, I agree. putting that voice, even if you're not putting the face, kind of like humanizes a lot of people in the game, and I think that helps a lot because I don't know. Sometimes you watch some of the things that devolve, and it's a lot of it is just like people just are just going in there just to be asses for no good reason, except I just want to be that way. And then once you actually get down to know somebody, it takes on a whole new level. You know, you realize, wow, you know, these are actually like decent people. They have lives like everybody else.
And the anonymity's gone, so they lose their strength or their bravery that they used to have.
Exactly.
Which is a good thing, I guess. That's well. What is your personal code of ethics in the game? What do you fight for?
It's ways of personal code of ethics, but I think I probably touched on that a little bit, which is just kind of like, you know, just do what you got to do in the game and just try to stay out of the big fray of the bigger problems, you know? So I kind of just focus on like this is what I got to do when I go in. I'm going to hit my dailies, I'm going to do my alliance stuff. I'm going to just like chat with people and make friends and not get sucked into all the weirdness.
There is a lot of weirdness. If you can stay off of Galaxy Chat, the game's a lot better.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, Galaxy Chat can be fun. You know, I think it's just it's what you make of it. You know, you can be one of like the hey, look at me people, like you know, trying to start problems, or you can sit around and talk about tacos and good food and have a nice time.
I love tacos. I love
Yeah,
and Taco
we got
Cat,
some nice
or
tacos.
is it? He's Guru now, Taco Guru,
Hmm.
but I knew him as Taco Cat
Hmm.
back. But he
Yeah, I
was,
remember that.
yeah, remember? And we're both from Texas, so we both go to Chewy's for our
Uh-huh.
tacos. So we have that in common.
I've never been to one, so I don't know. Is that a chain or is that like a local thing?
It's a chain, but it's kind of it's a chain, but
Okay.
they have Taco Cat shirts, and they have the Juan Solo. Um,
Oh,
they have really cool T-shirts, so that's one of the things. And in the bar, they have pictures hung on the wall of dogs, like dog
okay.
paintings. So it's just a weird, eclectic place.
That sounds like a place I would want to go to.
Oh, next time I'm there, I'll take a video and I'll show everybody. It's awesome.
Like screaming. That's my daughter. Sorry.
Welcome to YouTube.
Yeah. She thinks I'm being too loud.
Oh,
I'm talking to one of the people in my game for the podcast thing I was going to do. Well, we're recording it, yeah.
she's famous.
Yes, I am famous.
Is that going to be my reaction to your podcast?
Yeah, I don't know if it's picking you up.
Oh, it's picking
I
her
don't
up.
know.
This is going on.
Am I interrupted?
It's fine. Don't worry about it. You can
Okay,
say hi to everyone.
No,
it can,
what are you talking about for a podcast?
About Star Trek Fleet Command. She just became silent.
okay. That's okay. I can edit out any interruption that we don't want to put on.
Oh no, it's okay if you need to put it in. I think it's hilarious.
This would be awesome. This would be awesome. Well, let me. Is she willing to answer a question or two?
So Dreamweaver here wants to know if you're willing to answer a question. If you want.
If I'm willing to answer a question, wait, can they hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, hello.
Hi.
Yes, I would be willing.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Well, thanks for being a good sport. What do you think about your mom playing this Star Trek game?
I honestly, I know she's a Star Trek fan. I'm a Star Wars fan, so I feel like that's where we butt heads first. But she spends honestly an insane amount of time. Like I am 23. I usually think I should be on my phone more as like a 20-year-old. But she is constantly on the game. She loves it, and I make fun of her constantly for it.
Rightfully so.
I just want to also say this is awesome. So you're okay. So do you play any cool? Are there any cool Star Wars games out there?
I mean, like, there's like the Star Wars Battlefront and stuff, and like Lego Star Wars. I don't really play any like Star Wars video games,
What
so.
was that game? There's Angry Birds Star Wars, I think. That's old though.
Oh, Angry Birds. Yeah, yeah. Angry Birds used to be back in the day.
Well, I'm from back in the day, so it changed.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So is my mom. She's way back.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, we go way back. Yeah.
Yeah, she's always talking about that Discord.
Hey, Discord's the coolest place. It's better than the game.
I just think it's hilarious. Like I when I think of my mom, I don't really like think of Discord.
Okay, we old people are cooler than you think.
Yeah, my mom is cool. She's pretty swaggy.
I agree.
She's hip.
Stop that.
You probably watched like Scooby Doo back in the day too.
Oh yeah. No, definitely.
Yes, very much. Actually.
This is funny. Podcast.
I mean, you guys
Yep.
you can hang out and laugh at her as she answers these questions if you want.
I would love to.
Okay.
That's up to you guys, I guess.
No, she can join in. It's a family affair
Yeah.
here at our household.
We got the dog here too.
My husband already went to bed. He sleeps early, but
Yeah.
he would say hi if he
sleepy.
could.
Well, there's always next time. We can.
That's right.
Well, we'll move on.
I'll stop interrupting and I'll give it back to her.
Okay, awesome. You did great, by the way. Thank you.
Awesome. Of course.
You're going to be famous on YouTube with like 14 people.
That's right. Yeah, like at least 14 people will listen to you on YouTube.
Yeah. You're basically viral in a week.
That's right. So back to the game.
Okay, back to the game. This was really fun and unique. This is the first time that we've had a someone pop in and answer some questions.
That's right. You get the family perspective on this episode.
Yeah, that's awesome. You don't really attack a lot of people. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. What's the best hate mail you've ever received from someone?
You know, I don't really attack that many people, so I don't really get that much hate mail. And I try not to respond it to too much, but when I do, I usually remember like they had the thing with the April's Fool thing with the Tribbles, and the only thing the Tribbles said was screen. Anytime somebody sends me something, I just usually just respond with screen. It confuses them. So
hey, that works.
it works really well. And like the only one is I remember there's somebody from Revo. I don't know exactly what he said, but it sounded like he was cursing at my mother in Portuguese.
That's Revo, yeah.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty entertaining.
I've gotten that same message. Yeah.
The Revo guys really know how to insult your family. So there they go. I give them props for that.
And they've been doing it for years. Like,
yeah,
they're still around. I think, why is Revo still here?
well, it's the Portugal crew, or not Portugal, the Brazilians. They speak Portuguese. The Brazilians.
Well, then I'll, no hate mail. That's no fun.
I guess not. I guess I need to be meaner.
So no, you're fine. You're fine. You're not the only person who hasn't had a lot of hate mail. I used to instigate it a little bit, so I'm more used to it. You'll like this one. What is Ro to you? And if you wanted to change something about it, what would that be?
Ro, I mean, I think Ro is a lot less complicated than people try to make it be. So, I mean, really what it is I just do the basic. I don't hit people unless they're 0. I don't hit people if they're not over, and even then I try not to hit people unless I really have a need to. Like if you're in like a system and every single thing is filled up, and you can tell it's like early, because I come in early in the morning, as people just fell asleep on the nodes, like, I'm gonna come off of that, and hit them just because I need a node. So I mean, I don't really hit somebody unless I have a good valid reason for it. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything I would necessarily change, because I think once you start getting into that, then you get into the weeds so much. and everybody's like, "Oh, don't do this ship, don't do that ship," and all this and that, and it just gets exhausting. So I just try to keep it as simple as I possibly can.
So you're probably like me. You're
Yeah.
0 nodes,
Uh-huh.
overprotected cargo.
Mhm.
And I don't even
Well,
really
that's
do the
about it.
warship. I don't do the warship. Like there's warships just sitting around, you can kill them. I don't do that.
Well, there's no point. I mean, really all you're doing is trying to pad for points, and it's not worth it, and you're just gonna upset people for no reason. Or you're doing it because you wanna upset people. I mean, most of the people that do that are doing it because they want to upset people.
They want power destroyed, that PD
Mhm.
stat.
Yeah,
Well,
pretty
that's
much.
so you're in the same boat as most people. Most of us have accepted row. We live in it, or ROE, as some people call it.
Mhm.
So that's good.
Uh,
You're. I kind of figured you'd be there.
it makes the game easier to play to a lot of ways, and it just gives people, like, a basic ethic I guess it's that ethics in the code of, like, just how you should act, and, like, I try to act in the same way that in the game that I would in real life. I'm not gonna go after somebody unless I have a valid reason for it.
It would have to be pretty bad reason for you to go after somebody, right?
It would. It takes a lot for me to get angry, and my daughter will say the same thing that it does. But when I get angry, I get really, really angry. But then it's done, so
Yeah,
that's
and
it.
it's not a server 17. That's not a challenge. She's don't do it
No,
now.
please don't. I'm not asking people to get angry.
Don't
Just
do
make
it.
me
Yeah,
angry.
don't send her hate mail unless it's nice hate mail.
Or if it's, like, interesting hate mail. Like, if you're, like, really creative about it, I'll appreciate it. But.
Well, I know you guys have some territory. What do
Mhm.
you what do you think about territory space? Do you go out there?
Yeah, I'm there. I mean, we have, like, 5 areas, so, I'm there a lot. I mean, it's nice to have, like, the safety with your stations, but it's just kinda like, it's just one more thing I have to deal with." Just one thing, It's like,
It's
it
so
it
far
doesn't
down there. Oh,
it's just like there's so many things you have to keep track of in this game now, like, there's so many different things. It's just like, I guess it's just one more thing. That's kind of like, I just mine my ISO as I need to. I turn it into the alliance and I need to, and I don't really, and I show up at the defenses as I need to, and I try not to think about it more than that. I guess I'm kind of dull. I guess I'm kind of
peaceful. That would be a good description.
maybe peaceful.
That's not dull.
Got it good.
No, I let other people deal with who's going what or where, if somebody's going to fight somebody or else. And if they say, hey, we're at war with this person, I'm like, okay. And then I do it. And then when they tell me it's over, I'm done. It's just like, it's just easier.
And then you don't have to worry about it anymore. And it usually
Right.
goes away after a couple of days anyway.
Yeah, most wars don't last very long. The few that do, like, even them, they're kind of like the long ones are usually pretty minor in the long run because the really bad ones are over pretty quickly. Like,
Yeah, you get 2 or 3 zealots that keep
mhm,
going, but the rest are like, yeah, I want to go back to mining.
yeah.
That's what I used to do. You're in fear. You're an
Mhm,
arrow.
right.
What's your favorite alliance besides your own now, and why?
Well, I mean, honestly, I can't not say Dune because of my name. Uh, so, and they're actually a really good group of guys. I've talked with Ron quite a bit over chat and all of that. He's a really nice person. You know, they kind of again they're kind of a group that doesn't cause a lot of problems, and they seem decent. And it's I got the name connection there. I don't think there's really. I'm trying to think of how to say. I don't know. I think I lost my train of thought. I
You
apologize.
can stay. You can stick with Dune. I like Dune.
Yeah, it's just a nice little alliance, and it's funny because when Ron started, he was like actively trying to recruit me, and I was like, "You're only doing it because I have the name," and he laughed. It was
True.
true, but we actually became friends as a result.
Let me tell you a little something about Ranger Ron.
Uh huh.
Um, we were Facebook friends,
Okay.
and then I restricted Facebook to real. I really cut it down to like family and like really
Hmm.
close friends. So I had to wave goodbye to Ron because although I like Ron, he just didn't fit my criteria for Facebook. But
No, I get it.
he's such a neat guy in real life
Hmm.
too. So I like him.
No, he's a good guy. I think actually, I think there's only like one player I'm actually friends with on Facebook. Most of them I'm not. Um, Really, now that I think about it. Yeah, there's only one. One. When and pretty much barely anybody has asked me to do that kind of thing, which is also very refreshing.
Yeah, I Facebook is kind of mine. Instagram is kind of where I reach out to people. It's just pictures,
Yeah,
and
Instagram's much nicer.
yeah, it's less interaction. I'm kind of an extroverted introvert,
Uh-huh.
uh, where I can turn it on, but boy, it really drains me.
It can be, yeah. No, that's kind of like, I mean, I probably wouldn't be on Facebook for the much longer if it wasn't for the groups that I'm in, like out, because a lot of times I just go on it and it's just like, oh, this is terrible. So I mainly just check into the groups and that's about it anymore. Instagram's much nicer because it's just photos and you can kind of just make it nice. And you need that spot of niceness in your life on the internet.
And that's my creative outlet spot as well. You guys know that.
Hmm.
I just did another drawing dump for you guys, so
I appreciate that. It was fun to read it.
it's really getting good after this. Don't worry.
I know I have to wait and see what happens next.
Dune is your favorite.
Uh huh.
Now, a nice person like you, peaceful person,
Uh huh.
no drama, no drama.
Uh huh.
What is your least favorite alliance and why?
I think it's whatever one man alliance decides to be created just because they're angry about something and want to like cause drama. So I guess I am part. It's still the no drama thing. So it doesn't matter who it is. It happens so much. Like some guy gets mad. He's like, I'm just going to kill everybody for no reason except I'm mad because somebody hit my minor, and it's just like, why, why? I don't get it. I don't get it.
I've never thought of it that way, but you're totally right. Those guys.
They're there to be obnoxious.
Have you looked at our? If you do this, look at the power chart of alliances.
Uh huh.
The top, I'd say 50 are actual alliances.
Right.
But once you get past the lower 50, that's all there are. It's just a bunch of one man alliances.
Yeah. And I mean, I think some of them just do it because they're kind of technically on vacation from the game, and I get that. But the ones that just do it because they're like, I don't know, like I just want to be annoying. That really is. It's like that's really what they just should say in all their alliance descriptions. I'm just here to be annoying. And
That's actually one of my catchphrases. But I like to annoy people who take this game too seriously.
Mhm. Well, somebody needs to be that person, so that's fine with me. I think that it's always a good to remind people that it really is just a game. It's not real life, and the reason I'm in this game is that it's not real life.
Yeah, I don't. When people bring all this drama, I'm like, guys, I come here to escape this,
Hmm.
not for more.
Yeah.
Well, you just kind of answered the next one, but why do you continue to play the game? What makes you log in every day?
I think when it started, it was just because like it was just like there's just so much going on. I was like, this is kind of fun to play. And then I don't think COVID's happened much later after the game started. It's hard to remember time anymore. But like I think it was a big outlet when you couldn't do anything. So I think that probably is what got me through the hump of when you remember when you stalled around 20?
Yeah,
Like I think that being one of my few social outlets when you couldn't leave the house was like what got me through that hump and then ended up making friends. So I just keep checking in because of that.
it's the same for me. Like, it's
Mhm.
the people. I don't really care about the game. I just got an Enterprise. Some ships I have got some credits and finished off the ship, but I'm very proud to say the Enterprise was 100% grinding.
That
And
is.
and some days I didn't want to do it. Like, oh my, I'm so close. I'm 30, blueprints away. I'm 20.
Mhm.
Without the battle pass, though, I don't know if I would be able to do it that fast.
No, you can't. I mean, if you want to go fast, you have two choices. You're either spending or you're grinding. There's just no other way, and you're going to do one or the other. And I mean, obviously, I'm not like the highest person in there. I'm only like 35, but like the only reason I got as far as I did was because of the grinding.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You said that you're at 35, but you spent how much
Mhm.
money?
$10.
Holy mackerel. That's awesome.
And
I've spent more than
but
that, I can tell you.
no, it's good that I did. I mean, and I'm not going to fault the people that spend. I mean, that's how they enjoy the game. That's how they spend their money. That's fine. It's just like I don't know. I'd rather spend it on a steak. So that's the way I look at it.
I bought some $99 packs. I can't do that
Mhm.
anymore. I look at it now and it's like I don't want to do it. I just had a steak tonight, by the way, at Outback
Mhm.
Steakhouse.
Oh, excellent, excellent.
Maybe I'm living. I didn't take a picture of it, and I'm a terrible food guy for you guys because
Uh huh.
I eat the food, then I say, man, I should have taken a picture of that.
No,
Every
I photograph a lot of food. I know, probably too much, but but I enjoy it. It's like one of my things that I enjoy most in like the real world is going out to eat and enjoying or cooking something. I just really love food. So if I'm looking at where I'm going to put my money, I'm going to put it in the thing that, I love, you know.
we love food too. Now,
Yeah.
the only problem with food now is things taste different.
Oh yeah,
I
because you had COVID.
I had a drink of Pepsi tonight, and it was so
Uh-huh.
terrible. It was so gross. Just didn't
Oh,
taste right. Cookies don't taste right.
I
Um,
don't know how I could deal with that. I'm so sorry. I mean, and not to minimize like all the other terrible things about COVID, but like it really is like you lose something in that.
it's a big deal, like taste,
Yeah.
and we don't realize how much food is part of our life and our culture. And uh,
Hmm.
it's fine though. I'm alive and I can still eat whatever I want. Brownies taste great. We've realized that. Um,
Good.
I've regained a bunch of weight, so it's not like I'm not eating. It's not like I'm starving. But yeah, I'm not the same.
No, that's too bad. I've gotten lucky. I haven't got COVID once. So, most of my family, we've been very, very lucky. I think my sister-in-law and her husband got it, and that's it. Like, the rest of my family has been, like, surprisingly, like, immune to it. I don't know why, but I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed.
Yeah, we all got it. We all got it, and now everybody's vaccinated. The only people that aren't vaccinated are I think my mom, but she lives on a ranch, and she's
Uh-huh.
kind of that Texas old school. She's had it, but she won't get vaccinated.
Uh-huh.
She has antibodies now, she says.
Uh-huh.
So, which is true.
You can only take people so far with that, unfortunately. They make their decision. We're at the point, if they were gonna do it, they're gonna do it. If they're not, they're not. There's no way convincing people anymore.
Well, I take that back. I when I was in the hospital, I convinced them to go get vaccinated. They got their first
Yeah,
shot.
uh-huh.
Uh,
Okay.
I they got their first shot, and then when I got my second shot, I felt real bad. Like, oh, this is horrible. I called her
Yeah.
and said, "Hey, when you got your second shot, did you did you have this bad reaction?"
Mhm.
And she said, "Well, we never got the second shot, so
Oh.
I don't know." I was like, "Okay, mom. Well, I'll talk to you later." So my mom's a trip. She's hilarious,
Moms are always great.
and my mom's just like me, except she has long hair, which is, my wife makes fun of us all the time. We're the same person.
Uh-huh.
We will never shut up. We just keep talking. That's just how it is. The next question I have is going away,
Mhm.
and it's phasing out, and officially you'll be the second person on the list to answer the phased out question. Everybody's
Okay.
answered it up to this point, but it's going away after you. So you're the last one, and then I'll give you the new question.
Okay.
But tell me something you think is true that almost nobody agrees with you on.
Um, oh yeah, because this is like it sounds like conspiracy theories, but I mean,
Yeah,
I knew this question was coming too, and I was having a hard time thinking about like what I would say.
and that's
Um,
why it's going away. I'm getting rid of it. I want to talk to
yeah,
people. I don't want to stump people, and that's what keeps happening.
that's a tough one because I mean, I don't know like what there is that's going on that isn't true in the game. I mean, the only thing I can say about the game is like you always wonder who's really who in the game. And I'm not going down the alt thing because that's a whole nother thing. But it's just kind
Oh
of
yeah.
like it's just like sometimes I listen to the people or read the people in Galaxy Chat and I think, are they really like this in real life?
I hope not.
And I do hope not. I mean, dumps me, and I'm thinking like, there could be somebody in there just maybe that's my conspiracy theory. Like, there's somebody in there secretly writing a paper all about the psychological profiles of the gamer.
There's one person I know that is treating it like a psychological experiment. That's Canna,
Uh-huh.
powered by cannabis. He he plays the game, and he said it a few times. This is why we sometimes bump heads, is because he does things to see what will happen,
Mhm.
how people will react, and then he has fun with it.
Oh, I believe that completely. But I want somebody to write a paper about it and like really dig into it. I think that would be both amazing and kind of hilarious all at once. Like the psychology of these gamers.
I would read it.
Yeah. So maybe that's my thing. It's like I think there's somebody out there that's going to take this data and is going to write something with
Well, I hope it's a good paper, and I hope I make the cut.
I yeah, I hope it's a good paper too. I can't imagine it wouldn't be.
It'd be long. It's gonna have to be really long.
It would.
Well, here's the new replacement question. If you could
Mhm.
change one thing about the game, what would that be?
I think sometimes maybe just streamline things a little bit because I think we're a little too overwhelmed now with new things. Like they keep bringing out so many new things that they haven't fixed the old problems. Like I just rather them stop introducing new stuff and just fix the things that are already broken.
I think that's smart. Do you ever get those big pink squares?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
you get some just weird stuff and bugs, and I'm like, it's just instead of giving us another ship we don't need right now or another thing I have to check into, like, what's that one thing, with the Orion, the Syndicate? That stupid
Oh yeah.
Syndicate buttons. Somewhere else, I always forget about it, and it's just like
Yeah, and I end up looking at like what is right below it. I'll look at whatever's right below it, and then I'm like,
yeah,
that's not what I wanted. I want to look at I think it's like mining. I look at the mining thing.
yeah. And it's just like there's so many different tabs everywhere and none of it makes sense. And you just have to sit there and go through like every single tab to make sure you've hit it all. And it's just like, I just wish they would just streamline that.
Here's what I would change.
Mhm.
I would make the swarm hostile. I'd make the swarm attack us.
That would be interesting. That would be good. Like just have a whole bunch of them at you at the same time and you have to sort of fight them off.
It'd be like the movies. I mean,
Yeah.
the swarm didn't just hang out and you go out there and kill them. That would be a great place to grind, passively
Hmm.
and more accurate, I think.
Yeah, I could see that. That would be pretty cool to have like more than one thing attacking you at once. You have to sit there and really think about where you're going to put your targets.
Yeah, and you've been here before Armadas came,
Right.
and it
Oh,
took like a
Armadas are the
year.
worst.
Armada's coming soon.
Uh huh.
That was so lame. What is Armada's going to be? What is it going to be like? Oh, we're going to be server versus server. One person said, "Oh, it's going to be huge Armada, and it's going to take the whole server to defeat it."
Would
It
have
was
been
nothing.
cool.
Yeah, that would have been super awesome. Never happened.
Yeah, our models were like a huge disappointment. They really
Yeah.
were. I mean, it was just kind of like, and again, it's just kind of like, one thing that could have been so much cooler if they'd taken more time, and instead they jumped to the next thing. Like, I think the best example of that is the whole Doomsday Worm thing. Like, what is
Oh,
even the point of that area?
the one that takes up the whole screen.
Yeah,
It's like the Borg, that Borg mega cube.
yeah.
It's not for the normal player, I can tell you that.
No, it's not, and it's just like, and it's just pointless. It's just at least with data, like you're getting something from what you're mining. You know what I mean? You're getting nothing from that Doomsday thing.
Well,
Nothing.
you know what the prize is to kill a doomsday thing? It's parse
Mhm,
steel.
yeah,
That's
I
it.
that no, Like if I'm gonna have to go to there, I want to have something decent, like as an actual reward or something. It just seems pointless.
I do like the Devore. That's really good to get me some Latinum for free.
Oh yeah, the Devore is great. I love that too. I will take as much free Latinum as I can. Which again, that's when you're a grinder. The Devore is like your gift to you.
I have so much Latinum stored up right now. I have more Latinum stored up right now than if I bought $100 pack.
hmm
Just
Oh, I
because
believe
I've
that.
been saving it, saving it, saving it.
hmm
Let me ask you one question about officers. This is a new question, off the cuff. Out of the officers that are out there still unreleased, who do you want to
hmm
see in the game the worst? Who do you really need to have?
Oh, for like you mean like for future ones where they bring officers in? Um, I
Yeah,
want to see DS9. I just really, I'm assuming it's coming if they've introduced Quark, but I just want to see the DS9 characters. I think it would be so great to have them in there, like and see like a whole arc where they bring Garrick in because he's like one of my favorite all time Star Trek characters. You know what I mean?
same
Like
here.
I like it when they do the story, and maybe that's not really, but when they do the stories and they make a good story versus a bad story. Like there's some like arcs they've made where the storylines have actually been really, really good, and there's ones that haven't been so good. But I think you could have so much fun with the DS9 storyline that I really want to see them come in.
I would really like to see the wormhole and it take you
Yeah,
way across the map somewhere.
yeah. I mean, that would be an awesome way to introduce a whole nother area.
Yeah, you got to go through the wormhole, and if you want to blockade the wormhole to keep people from going through it, um,
hmm
not a suggestion to anybody, but if that ever came about, that would be cool.
Yeah, I mean, like you could have like a whole Dominion war. Like it would be great.
Ooh, that would be good too. I would like to
Yeah,
see some Jim Hadar.
yeah. And then I'd have to get a Vic Fontaine avatar. So, then we'd have it all there.
Man, I that whole last episode, I'm not ashamed to say it, I was bawling.
It's a
Uh,
good one.
I love Vic Fontaine. That whole character, and I like Jake, although
hmm
he's going to be a lot like Wesley, I think.
Although I think Jake had a good arc. I mean, in the beginning, he was just like that poor kid that couldn't get a girl and dressed terribly. And then he found like his own path. And like, I thought that was great what they did with him.
I loved how he was covering the war, like
Yeah,
a journalist. That was so cool.
it was cool. And like, I feel like when I look at all the shows, like DS9 is my top favorite. Like, it had the best storylines, it had the best character growth, and it just really was just I don't know. There's very few things I can complain about DS9 about.
I like it because it was grounded in reality more for me than
Yeah.
like Generation.
Yeah.
Next Generation is
Yeah, I
so
get that.
clean. The Enterprise is so clean, and I'm sure that
Mhm.
the carpet robots that clean the floor all the time. But
Mhm.
DS9 is like somewhere down the street, and it's got hooligans and people ripping other people off. I like it.
Yeah. It's got a good grittiness to it. It was just a great show. And I think a lot of it was like, I mean, when Gene Roddenberry came for Next Generation, he had a specific set of rules. Like there couldn't be conflict between the officers on Next Generation. Everything it was supposed to be the utopia.
Yeah.
So it really hamstringed the writers in a lot of ways. So after he died and they moved over to DS9, they were able to a little bit experiment a bit more. And I think that was good for them.
And I can't wait for Odo. Like I don't know what abilities he'll have, but that would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
He's an all-time favorite. I like Garrick. I like Odo.
hmm
Um, I love the whole Odo and Quark interaction.
Oh yeah, no, it was great. Like and it just like I said, that's what the characters that you thought were going to be obnoxious really grew to be like so good. Like it was just really great to see that.
And they took Garrick places. I heard that they didn't originally intend to.
hmm
When he did the whole
The simple
trick,
Taylor.
well, yeah, and then when he tricked the Romulans into joining the war by killing the
Uh huh.
senator, that was like that was deep.
Yeah, it really was. He was a great character. Like, it just I guess I probably can talk forever about DS9, so as you can tell.
Hey, same here. I discovered DS9 and X-Files on the same day.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
You were
and
busy in
I
the
was like,
90s then.
yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? And I was hooked. I mean, I love the original series.
Mhm,
I I I wasn't a big fan of Picard at first because I was like, hey, Captain Kirk in the movies and all that.
mhm. There was a lot of good things in Picard. I just feel like there was a lot of filler. Like, if they had cut out maybe like 3 hours of runtime out of that, it would have been a much better show. It took them like 3 episodes for them to even leave Earth. So, I mean, I think if they had really just pushed him into space a lot faster and just gotten rid of some of the just there's a little too much filler. It could have been it really needed to be streamlined a bit more again. Um, and I mean, but I did like it, and I'm actually quite excited for the new season because I love anything with it's got Q in it. So I'm very excited to see where they take it, you know. So I think they got Strange New Worlds coming out. Discovery's been really dull this year, so I've been very disappointed by the new season. It's just dull. But if you haven't watched Prodigy, oh my god, it's so good.
I have
It's
not. I haven't.
so good.
I'm really pumped for Guinan,
Yeah, I love Guinan.
and she's coming back. I hear, and I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Because I don't know I don't know what her race is. It's some long
Mhm.
lived. She was in the episode with Mark Twain. Remember that?
I do
Well,
remember that episode. You know, my
that's a good one.
hometown is where Mark Twain was buried.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, he
What
spent his
what
summers
town is
there.
this?
His Elmira, New York.
Elmira, New
So
York.
yeah, so his wife is from Elmira. So when he met her, that they spent all their summers in Elmira. So he and his wife and his daughters are all buried there. That's what our town is known for: Mark Twain and prisons. Two big
Oh,
things.
wow.
So
My town is known for oil and bad water. And and George W.
and
Bush
baby,
was lived here as a kid.
and you said baby Jessica.
Oh my gosh, baby Jessica. Yeah. And baby Jessica has babies of her own now.
Uh-huh. That's weird to think about that. I know she's probably like 30 something, but I just still think of her as a baby.
What is your favorite episode of all time, Star Trek? Favorite episode of all time or movie?
Okay, all time of any Star Treks?
Yep.
That's a tough one. I mean, for Next Generation, I would probably have to say the Lower Decks episode for sure.
Oh, that's a good one.
Um, yeah, it's so good. It's so good. Um, and then DS9 would be the one where, with the Vic Fontaine one, where Nog loses his leg and he spends like all that time in the Hollow Suite with Vic.
Yep.
I could probably go through each one, but I don't know. I don't need to keep going.
No, that's fine. I
Yeah.
like Next Generation where Picard was sucked into that little I don't know, it was like a drone and he lived his life.
Oh,
Uh,
Inner Light.
yeah, man. When I first saw that, I didn't know what I had just seen. Like,
That
and then he has the flute at the end.
It's such a good episode. Yeah, if I could have one piece of Star Trek, like whatever, of swag, I would have
Yeah.
the flute for sure. I would.
If I would have the mask that Data wore when he was that goddess, um, Masaka or whatever. Cool mask. It's like the sun or something.
Yeah, I forgot about that
That
episode.
was I love that. I love that. And DS9 had when they were fighting, they had some cool episodes during
Hmm.
the
They
when
did.
the Tal Shiar and the Obsidian Order teamed up. You remember that one?
Uh-huh. Yeah,
And
yeah.
they went to the Founder's home world and they got wrecked, I guess, because it was a trick.
That whole Dominion War arc was just like so good, you know? It's like it really I think that helped a lot, because I think that the first couple seasons were a little rough and then it really blossomed once they kind of got out of there and they got the Defiant and everything and just,
It got better for me when Cisco shaved his head.
yeah, exactly. It's like
Boom.
that's around the same time.
Yeah. I mean, it's just they did that, I think, on purpose to say, like, let's go a different direction. Let's get real. Here we go.
We're gonna make him look back like his character in Spencer for Hire again, so he can look
Oh
cool.
my gosh. I remember that. Yeah. I mean, so many people were on these shows during the 80s. So many people on what is that show? Benson.
Yeah, Rene Auberjonois. He was
Yeah.
that guy in Benson. I can't remember his name.
And also from Voyager.
Ethan. Yeah, he was in something we just watched the other day. He popped into, and I can't remember what it was. He's in a lot of things, though.
Isn't it cool? Like they were like character actors, kind of, and then
Mm-hmm.
boom.
We've been rewatching, believe it or not, The Love Boat.
Oh, yeah.
Because why not? And it is really fun to see the guest stars show up. And there's some weird people that just pop up out of nowhere that you don't expect at all. It's like so many characters.
I'm gonna have to watch that because it was kind of like a cameo show every episode. Yeah.
And it's funny because you see like all these old Hollywood people that show up, and then there's like just people that like from like Three's Company, and it's just such a weird mix of stuff. Like Three's Company, like I don't know, Jack Ritter was in like 3 episodes. Like seriously, they just kept using the same actors like over and over again. Um, and then they would also have like Joan Collins. You just don't know.
Yeah, like back in the day though, that was like, hey, we're gonna get Joan Collins to be on Three's Company.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's awesome. Today they're like, who's Joan Collins?
Oh, they're missing out, man. She was great on Dynasty.
Oh man, don't get me started on Falcon Crest and all those things.
That's one of the reasons why we've been rewatching a lot of old shows. It's just been really fun,
Well, with COVID, we had a lot of time.
That is also true.
And I found out when I was in the hospital, it was 9 days.
Mm-hmm.
9 days of laying down, I guess. And
Mm-hmm.
they played 2 episodes of Next Generation about, I don't know, 9 and 10. And then they would bring in they would bring in my breakfast right before it, and then bring my lunch after it was over. So I watched a lot of episodes.
Yeah, it's fun to revisit it. It's fun to see like what holds up and what does not.
Well, I have 2 questions left for you.
Okay.
And I'm giving you lots of fun extra questions. We're off script. We're way off script.
That's good. That's why I like it.
Yeah, but it's fun to talk to you about. I know you're a kindred spirit here. Let's
Thank you.
the Khan from the original series and Wrath of Khan, Ricardo Montalban.
Right.
Or Bumblebee Cumberbatch.
Which is my con?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to go old school with that one. I like Benedict Cumberbatch and all that, but like, you just can't beat out Ricardo Montalban. I mean, neither. There's no choice, right? It's just automatic.
And also another great TV show for cameo appearances.
Yes, very much. So. Joan Collins was also in the original Star Trek too.
Oh, she was Edith Keeler, right?
Yep.
Edith Keeler Must Die. Yeah. How do I know that? I don't know where my keys are, but I know who Edith Keeler is.
It's the important things that you have to remember, right?
We have 1 question left, and this is the question of questions.
Uh-huh.
It's not about the game. This is about you and your life.
Mm-hmm.
So if you died today, how would you like to be remembered?
I would hope that I would be remembered as somebody that brought some joy and some fun into people's lives, and that they're able to celebrate that after I am gone. I joke that like if I die, I want everybody just to throw a giant party. So that's what I would like. It's just the people remember the fun and just celebrate that and not be sad.
I think that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Bene Gesserit Witch.
Bene, but it's close.
What? How do I say it? Let's say it. Let's try it again.
Ben Gesserit Witch. Bene Gesserit Witch.
Bene Gesserit Witch.
It's Bene Gesserit Witch.
Ben and Jerry's Witch.
That's right, Ben and Jerry's Witch.
Ben and Jerry's Witch. Thanks for chilling with me.
Thank you.
Well, is there anything you wanted to ask me, or you had a question, or anything you wanted to add?
I mean, how do you see yourself in the game?
I'm Q without his powers, but I've adapted, and now I'm still annoying people.
And again, I feel like sometimes you got to be that person that keeps everybody on their toes. So there's nothing. That's a good thing.